What's going on, sports fans? It's Coach J right here. I just wanted to give you my little research paper on what happened last night at the NBA Finals, because I know that you probably won't respect my opinion, because who am I? Like, oh, Coach J, coach or what? But I'm going to show you from the opinions of the professionals, the people who do this for a living, that the Cavaliers was robbed yesterday. And I'm going to go through it at the end of the game. I'm going to show you how this is something that has never happened before in the NBA Finals, although KD would like to say.
But the block charge thing, last year in the regular season, the same play happened to me. It was a block. They called a block, and they went and reviewed it and changed it to a charge. So I kind of...
But I'm just going to show you, again, bad call, very bad call, but don't take my word for it. Check them out.
As you shake your head, you're shaking your head about what? You're shaking your head about what, man?
Wow, Rob, I understand why the coach of the Cavaliers would say that. Neil, that rule has to be changed. That rule has to be changed. Change.
And the NBA decides, let's go to a replay, and I still can't figure out what it is. That's why the NFL doesn't use replay on holding. They don't use replay on pass interference because it's a judgment call pre and post technology.
Man, Kenny, Zeke, Grant, I'm Matt. Where do you want to start? I feel like we have to start with the J.R. Smith play because it's just one of the great blunders in finals history.
I think you got to start with was it an offensive foul on or a charge block on LeBron?
Well, you can backtrack on that as well.
That's
a review
the call
play
of the game right there.
And Kevin Durant would hit 2 free throws to tie the game up at 104 apiece.
I'm still not sure how you can change that call from a charge to a block.
Well, they reviewed it to see whether he was in the restricted area.
And he was not.
That is a trigger.
And he was not in the restricted.
But that allows them to change the call.
Really?
I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's the way it works.
Is that wow?
I don't know that I've ever in my broadcasting, whether it's radio or television career, ever said the refs cost a team a game. This is as close as you can come, though. And the reason is because I believe the refs broke the rules. And so there were 2 separate instances where KD had the ball stripped cleanly. They called fouls. That happens. Right here, we get block charges wrong all the time. I think they got this one right. If in real time they had called it a block, so be it. But the audience needs to understand what the NBA rules are. You cannot review if something was a block or a charge based on movement, based on leaning.
So even if I have one call and another guy has another call on the field, because on the court, that's what you have with Tony Brothers and Ken Mauer right there. You don't go to it then?
You can't. You're not allowed to go to review there. The only way you're allowed to review this is to see if the player is inside the charge circle.
Scott, number one, the call with 36 seconds left that was overturned, where LeBron James ultimately got called for the offensive foul. I think that's inexcusable. If you call it in the moment, that's one thing. But it's too close to call for the referees to insert themselves into that equation by going to the videotapes and reviewing it and overturning a call that clearly is not that decisive.
Was he stationary? Was he moving? Was he sideways? You can't get into that. And without going to, and then go to replay, that call has to be made on the court and kept within the authority of the game officials.
The reason I'm saying the referees broke the rules is I don't believe they were actually reviewing if he was in the charge circle.
So you think the play, and initially thinking going there to look at it, and then once they were there, then they changed it based on looking at the rest of the video?
I think they only went to it because they wanted to be able to change it because one guy called a block, one guy called a charge. You cannot see this play in the position Ken Mauer is in and think there is any question LeBron's inside that charge circle. He's closer to the semicircle under the free throw line than the charge circle. Both feet are at least 2 feet out of the charge circle. So that's my problem. I feel like the refs broke the rules, and forget the fact that I think it was a charge and they overturned it wrong. The refs broke the rules in looking at it.
And Mauer was right there, had the perfect angle right there in the corner.
Come on now, man. Even the refs last night, the refs on the floor, disagreed with longtime respected NBA ref Steve Javie. Listen for yourself.
He's clearly outside the restricted area. In that particular play, Steve, do you think he made it in legal guarding position?
I believe he is, because as I look, he's starting his upward motion. It looks like James is there. Like as I said, very, very close play, especially in real time. But I do believe that James was there prior to the upward motion of the shot.
I do think that's probably something that needs to be looked at. Because once they make a call, I get the whole idea of a trigger, but you shouldn't be able to change that call.
Because then I could look and see if it was a goaltending when I called the charge.
Once you start doing that, you should do it for every call.
Oh, wait, did he walk before he charged?
Well, they do have limits what they can review, but I get your point. I don't necessarily agree that they should be allowed to do it either.
There have been times throughout the league, throughout this season, where we have seen them go review out-of-bounds calls, right?
Yes.
And doing that out-of-bounds play, there is a foul committed.
They can't change that.
And they can't call the foul.
Correct.
But they
changed that.
But they can change it here.
Yes.
That's the same decision.
It's the same thing.
Right. It's the exact same thing with a different rule. And it's selective changing rulers.
So there it is right there. I broke it down for you. I even slowed it down to show you that LeBron James is there. He may slide a little bit, but you can't tell if he's sliding because of the impact. You cannot tell. It's too indecisive of a call, and especially to change it at the end. And you can see Kevin Durant signaling to replay it because he knows the rules, because he said, man, that thing happened to me before. You understand? So he influences the referees to go back and to replay the call when clearly he's outside the restricted line. And as we showed you, you can't review a charge or a block if it's not in the restricted area. So the referees violated the rules. You know, they allowed for the Warriors to get the advantage of that play. The Warriors were down by 2, less than 40 seconds left in the game. LeBron's team has the ball. You know, would the Cavs have won? We never know, man. But that influence of the referees during that crucial time of the game to decide that game and to basically cower like that, where Tony Brothers doesn't even call a block. He goes to almost signal the block, and I wish I had the angle, but he looks at his partner and he doesn't actually signal the block. He was about to signal the block, but the guy on the baseline, I don't know what the referee's name is, he had the charge call. So there you go. You know, you could say I'm a Golden State hater or whatever you want to call it, but there are many people out there in the sports world that agree that that was a horrible call, and it definitely changed the complexion of the game. And hopefully we have some better refereeing on the next game. This is Coach Jay. I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and comment, and leave a comment on the comment section, and subscribe if you want, all right? I'm out of here. Peace.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like my auntie when I used to stay at my house. Like only certain things. Oh, you can't touch that today. What? Yesterday I touched it. What do you mean? You can't touch that today.